Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Queenie Clem with Queenie's Book Talk and Reviews, and I am your literary ambassador. And today, look who I have on my channel, Stephanie. Thank you for coming in today.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, tell us a little about yourself and your channel.
Okay, so I have a YouTube channel called Steph'S Romance Book Talk, and over there I review so many different romance subgenres. Over there I can go from light and fluffy, contemporaries and things like that, historical romance, all the way to dark and twisted, sometimes morally ambiguous stories of nature and things like that. But I review them all, and I release videos throughout the week on Tuesdays and Thursdays that are just sort of random videos, some book tags, recommendations, readathons that I'm into. And then on Sundays, I do a weekly wrap up of all the books that I read throughout the week.
All righty. Describe how you first got into blogging.
So I would go to work and talk about the books that I had started to read. And a friend had suggested that I start doing YouTube because it could possibly make money. Lo and behold, that's not very true. But it all of a sudden became this amazing outlet to start going to book events and meeting authors, a way to talk about the books that I am reading. I'm mainly into independent authors, romance book authors. So a lot of the books that I read are either written by authors that are local to the Washington, D.C., Virginia, Pennsylvania, Delaware area, or they come in for book signings that are being held in those areas as well.
Okay. What is your full-time job? I know do you have a full-time job?
Currently, I don't have a full-time job. So technically, you could say that reading is my full-time job now. I do read. I can read for 8 to 10 hours some days and get 3 or 4 books in. So before I had a government job.
Yeah, because I was like, this past week, you read 11 books.
Yes. I've actually already read 4 books this week.
See, I got to be like you. I was like, when does she have time to be with her family, work, and all these books? I'm still on the same book I've been on for like 3 days, and I cannot get through it for nothing.
Every moment that I possibly can, I will pick up a book or pop in my earbuds to listen to an audiobook or anything like that. So any format that I can possibly get to, I am all about it.
Okay. Who has impacted you the most in blogging and why?
I would actually have to, wow, I don't really have an answer for that one. I know that I get a lot of my inspiration from another booktuber. Her name is Kayla, but she goes by Books and Lala over on BookTube. And she is very inspiring. I like to be inspired by her videos. She comes up with some really, really creative ways to talk about books, and then I like to sort of inspire them into the romance community and come up with other ways to promote romance on BookTube as well.
Okay. What do you do in your spare time?
Read. No, I have a son, and he is a swimmer, so that is one of our constant things, is that we're at swim meets or at swim practice. That is his sport of choice. So that is a year-round thing. He does summer swim, and during the practices, if I'm not talking with the other swim moms, I'm reading, and during practice, I'm reading. And then during meets, I'm mostly cheering.
Okay. Because I know one time I said, how is she reading when he got to go to swim practice? But I said, oh, but it's now winter time, so she got some time to read. But he swims the whole entire year round.
He swims 4 to 5 days a week. So during practice, we're not allowed to be down near the pool.
Yeah.
So I'm actually very set off. So the pool may be down here, and I'll be sitting up here. So there's no contact during that hour and a half to 2 hour practices.
That's how you get your reading.
Reading it, yep.
What has been the most challenging with your channel?
I would have to say my most challenging thing that comes with having a booktube channel is not getting down on myself for not having a large amount of views or the growth that I've seen or I've had slow growth over the last 4 years that I have been on booktube, because I started my booktube channel in 2015 and I'm just now hitting 3,000 subscribers. So I have to really tell myself not to get down on the fact that, you know, I may see somebody that starts a channel a year ago and now they're at like 30,000 subscribers. And I have to not get down about that, even though we're talking about similar books. There's lots of things that go into it, the YouTube algorithm, and some have more marketing, you know, things like that. So, you know, I have to work with what I work with. I have my faithful subscribers that I just am super thankful for, the people that shout me out and the people that I've been able to really come in contact with. And I actually think that in some ways, the smaller subscriber count and smaller community that I have is actually a little better, because I can actually have personal contact with those people on more of a regular basis. Whereas if I had, you know, a tenth of the 30,000 subscribers that, you know, because in reality, even though you have 30,000 subscribers, only 10% of those people are actually viewing your videos. You may have the subscribers, but not everyone is watching every single video. So me having my 3,300 people are constantly watching, and I have personal contact with 300 people. So I still think that's a great win.
Okay. Can you name some of your favorite bloggers and explain why they're your favorite? Okay,
so I have to give a shout out to my book boo, Bree from Bree Hill. She also has a blog called Falling for Romance. I adore her. We talk on a regular about everything that's in the romance community and things that we're going through. The reason I think I connect with her the most is because we're closer in age, and we also have a military connection. Both of us were in the military and we've bonded over that. So we definitely have like that connection and everything like that. One of the other main people that I talk with is Lauren from the novel Lush. And even though she's moved over to Europe now, we have less contact, but she's still one of my faves. She is my go-to for urban fantasy and some other subgenres that I don't necessarily always dive into. India from Life as a Page Turner is amazing. She is in Atlanta and I just adore her so much. She is actually in her real life has a career that I went away from. She's in first responders career field, and it just takes me back to when I was a first responder. So we bond over that. And then as well, she just started a candle business, so I'm looking forward to supporting her in that. And we like to discuss the books, even though we may have different opinions on some of the same books. She's definitely one of my good book friends.
Okay. What inspires you to blog?
Being able to talk about the books that a lot of people think that romance is very standardized or has sort of a misconception that all the stories are exactly the same. And I love being able to say, nope, this story was about more. This story is about the journey of these different characters, you know, whether it be male, female relationships, different lifestyles. I like to be able to say, you know what, I'm open to those, and here is the reason why you should be open to them as well.
Now, what is your genre again?
I mainly read romance. Romance would be the umbrella genre that I read.
Okay. What are you currently reading now?
Oh goodness. Well, like I said, I have finished 4 books for this week, and I am currently reading. Let's pull up my Goodreads real quick. I am reading Unexpectedly Mated by Millie Tyndall, and that is a paranormal romance. I'll pull up the cover for you so you can see it. It's it right there.
Yeah.
And this is the 3rd book in the series. It's a very quick read. I'm actually listening to it on audiobook. The Audible Escape Program. And my connection is doing something. Okay. Hopefully I didn't freeze or anything like that.
Go ahead.
Okay. So it's a very quick read. It's about fated mates and shifters and things like that. It's about a wolf pack that is looking for their mates out of these group of friends. And like I said, this is the 3rd book. It's just something to sort of pass the time. I am hoping to get down my NetGalley arcs that I have before the end of the year. So I have about 6 more books to say that I've washed out all of my 2019 books, and I can start reading my 2020 books arcs that I already have in my possession.
Okay, tell me more about, you said NetGalley. What is that?
So NetGalley is a place that lots of different publishers, they put books up so that bloggers, reviewers, librarians, other publishers, different people can review copies of a book before it is actually released to the general public. And NetGalley has been amazing as long as you put your information out there and let them know where they can be found. You have to give feedback, and it's better to keep your ratio up. So even if you get approved for a lot of books, you need to make sure that you're giving your feedback and back as well, so that they can continue to see that you're not just gathering books up. You're actually reading them and giving feedback on them.
Okay. Have you met anyone interesting or famous since on your blogging journey?
Well, I consider them famous, but I have met so many amazing indie authors through all of the book signings that I go to. And I would have to say my most memorable ones is that I get to meet Kennedy Ryan. I've met her at least once a year for the last 3 years, and she is absolutely amazing. She is a contemporary, realistic romance writing queen of mine. Whenever I read one of her books, I know that I'm going to have my heart pulled, I'm going to have my emotions twisted, and she's going to give me a journey of like epic proportions. She likes to include social issues within her novels, and they're not so much that they're over the head bashing of the social issue or of what's going on. She intertwines them in a way that is going to make you really enjoy that story. And I have also met Alethea Romig quite a few times. I started reading her back in 2012. She was actually one of the first sort of psychological romance writers that I read. And then I kind of stalked her. I looked into her. I figured out when I could meet her, and then when I finally met her, it was like glorious and amazing. We have been in touch now, and I've read all of her books, and she likes to get twisted and crazy psychological romances that I just absolutely adore. And she is a joy to speak with, and her family's amazing. And those are two indie authors that I just absolutely love. But there are so many more on my list of people that I meet on a regular basis. I've been going to book signings since 2016, and I want to say I've went to at least 5 or 6 each year since then. So I've met a lot of authors, sometimes, but a lot of new ones as well.
How do you motivate yourself to keep your blog up and running?
Ooh, so it's an outlet for me to really expound upon the things that I have been reading, and get out there. So I like to, I've actually upped my videos to 3 videos a week. And sometimes I do feel like it's a little hard, but if at the same time, those weeks that I'm just doing the tag video, in many ways, it's a way of giving recommendations for people. So that kind of keeps me motivated. And the supporters, the viewers that watch my videos really keep me going, because they talk to me on through my comments, and let me know, hey, I read this book because of you, or you've inspired me to look at this subgenre that I wouldn't have thought about doing or reading before because of the way that you reviewed this video. So you guys keep me motivated.
Do you have any goals for next year?
Oh, I haven't even sat down to write out my goals for next year. I will probably keep my reading goal the same as it was this year at 250 books for next year. And I am going to continue doing the blackout portion of my monthly reading, which is to read more Black authors, and to make sure that I can highlight those authors on my channel and have sort of a special section for them to say, hey, if you want to diversify, you don't have to just diversify your reading in February. You can do it year round. And by the way, here's some authors that you can, read. So those are definitely 2 of my goals for next
year. Okay. Is there anything you would like to add about the channel before we close?
I would just like to say, take a chance on my channel. And I don't bring the normal mainstream books. I do have some mainstream books that I do read. You will find books that are traditionally published on my channel that I talk about. Mm-hmm. And I do mainly talk about independent authors. But at the same time, I'm not going to give you synopsises of the books. I'm not going to do any spoilers. And if I do give a spoiler section of a review, I do mark them off very specifically to let you know, hey, I'm going to do a spoiler. And if you don't want to hear any spoilers, you need to click off. And all of my reviews are based upon how I felt when I was reading the book, what I thought of the journey of the book, and not the synopsis of the book.
Okay. Again, tell everyone how they can see you or where you're at on the internet.
Okay. And you guys can follow me on all my social media platforms. I have Twitter, and that is at Steph_ or Steph with a F _ uncensored on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram and Goodreads at Steph's STEPHS Romance Book Talk on Goodreads and Instagram. You can find my YouTube channel under Steph's with an apostrophe S Romance Book Talk, and I think that's it.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for coming in today, and I'm flabbergasted.
Oh, thank you.
Excited. Thank you for. I've been watching your channel for I think I've been on about a year, but I think I was watching before I came on to get.
Oh, thank you.
I don't leave comments all the time, but I definitely watch you, and I'd be like, people be like, leave a comment. And I'd be like, oh, I forgot to leave a comment. Oh, well, they know I hit the like button. So, but I really appreciate you coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And you have a Merry Christmas also.
Thank you too.
All right. This is Queenie Clem with Queenie's Book Talk and Reviews. Happy reading. Bye, y'all.